Okay, friends. Howdy, everybody. Welcome along to another Saturday. Good to have everybody here. Let's say hi to everyone real quick. We've got Viking Racer in P1. Well done, sir. If you've gotten a P1 before, I can't remember it. Maybe it's been a little while, but if not, that might be your first. Brigsby, good to see you too. Luis Sosa, good to see you, friend. Uncle June, what is up, friend? Good to see you as well. And then Moto, good to see you, bud. You know what's happening behind the scenes right now. Yep. Indeed, indeed. Very cool. So, yes, today we have a Learn with LED session. We have a few different things going on a little bit today. So, I'll introduce our guests in a moment. But I wanted to preface it by saying that today's a little bit different in the sense that we are not using race cars. Today we are going to be using some road cars, and that's going to be part of the difference. And so that means we're not technically doing a daily race-esque either. We're going to be talking about a couple other things in regards to today's lesson. So excited to do that with you all. A little bit different, and maybe, you know, I do find that we do so many of the race cars, and we're doing that so often that we forget about some of the awesome road cars in this game, honestly. And so I'm really glad that our guest today requested to do the Alfa Romeo Giulia GT-AM. It is quite the awesome car. And without further delay, let's go ahead and bring our guest in today. Right here, Tangy, good to have you here, my man. Coming over from the Briggs crew. Go ahead and say hi to everybody.
Hi.
Awesome. So you found out about the Learn with LEDs when Brigsby was a guest, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And so you saw what was going on there, or maybe and maybe Briggs even told you about this, and you reached out, correct? That's how that went.
Yes.
Cool. Very cool. So tell us a little bit about yourself. You have the name Tangy. What is this? Where does this name come from exactly?
It was automatically generated when I made the account.
Yeah. Okay. Gotcha. And you just kept it, huh?
Yes.
Very cool.
I decided to stick with it.
Yeah, it's fun. It's memorable for sure. I like it. Brigsby's saying hi in the chat there. He's saying hi to you. Let's see. So tell us a little bit about your background in racing games. So the GT7 isn't the first racing game you ever played, right? What else have you done?
I played Forza.
Okay.
Back when it was on Xbox One.
Gotcha. Okay. Xbox One days.
But now that Xbox One's gone.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. So you're not playing that anymore?
No.
Have you played? Go ahead.
It's been about 5 years.
Gotcha. Okay. Did you have you played any other racing games besides Gran Turismo?
Mario Kart.
Mario Kart, I love it. My sister just got the Switch 2, which I believe you just got the Switch 2 also, right?
No, I ordered it.
You ordered it? Okay, she just got it. I think she's playing it right now, actually, upstairs.
Wow.
She's playing Mario Kart on there. Richie, good to see you, friend. Awesome to have you here, bud. That's really cool to have you here, man. So, now, as far as Gran Turismo games, have you played any previous Gran Turismo games?
I've played Gran Turismo Sport.
Okay, very good. Gran Turismo Sport. So that's a lot like this one. Very similar, just different platforms. It's on PlayStation 5. Now, I think you also told me you don't use a wheel. You have a controller, right?
Yes.
Okay, you're using a controller and you run an automatic, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, excellent. Right now you are a D-ranked driver. Do you spend a lot of time in sport mode?
No, not a lot, but I do like to do it occasionally.
Yeah, do it occasionally. Okay, and you said I think you do a lot of the in-game races with the AI, and you do get into lobbies sometimes, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, very cool. Noodle, good to see you. SD, awesome to have you here. Thank you all for the 17 likes already. That's really cool, guys. Appreciate you. Okay, so you as far as the assists go, you use as far as like track assists, you told me you use the driving line, correct?
Mm-hmm.
And do you use the driving markers as well? The yellow pins on the road, do you use those?
Yeah.
Okay. And then for driving assists, do you use traction control at all?
Yeah,
Okay,
I do.
no problem. And then I'm guessing you have some of the other counter assists, perhaps? A counter steer assist. Okay, very good. Excellent. Just making sure we all know what we're dealing with. So again, folks, we're not doing race cars today. We're doing these road cars. We're doing the Alfa Romeo Giulias. Kind of a beast of a machine. If you've ever looked at them before or anything like that, these things are rockets, honestly. So Tangy, you had the idea of doing a couple of modifications to the car, right? So what modifications are we doing today?
Brake balance and brakes.
We upgraded the brakes, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So we've added the computer to control brake balance, and we have upgraded our brakes to get a little more braking power. And then we're running racing soft tires also. So we're not doing sport tires, we're doing racing soft. So those are the upgrades that we've done to the car. Not too much, honestly. You can get a better look here about how beautiful these things are. They are gorgeous. Get a little side action here, you can see. Nice in the California sun that we're sitting in right now. Beautiful cars. Crazy machines. These things are animals. They really are. So we kind of like that stickier compound of tire. That's going to be helpful for sure. Red Shot, good to see you here, man. Noodle, I don't know if I said hi to you yet or not. So what we're going to be doing here, Tangy, basically is we're going to spend some time on this track. There's a lot of turns, right? We got some pretty tricky sections. And what we're going to try and do here is try and get you faster. Try and get you to know how you can be faster on the track, right? That's going to be our objective. And then the other objective that we'll have is how to use brake balance. So we've added brake balance to the car for that reason. Tangy had the question of, what should I do with brake balance? When should I put it forward? When should I put it backwards? We can talk about that quite a bit, a little bit later on in the session. And then honestly, Tangy, anything else that I see while we're going around the track, I can point out to you, and we can talk about it, and hopefully, make you a better racer. Okay, friend?
Okay.
Cool, man. So let's go ahead and get started. We'll go ahead and have you lead, and we'll make it so. everybody can see, and you just go ahead and go as comfy, you know, whatever is comfortable for you. That's the speed that I want you to go, okay?
Okay.
Yes, Noodle, it is tricky in reverse. We are not doing it in reverse. Okay. Tricky spot here for sure. Okay, a little wide there. This part was hard when I was down there earlier, given a few practice laps. Car really wants to go wild there. So right now you have brake balance 0, is that correct?
It's on front.
All the way to the front? All the way to the front, Tangy?
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna do the same. PhD Squeezy, good to see you. Okay. Normally, this is a flat out section in the race cars, but I found that I definitely have to lift and be cautious here. You think game sound is low, Viking? Huh.
Artifact of party.
It's an artifact of party. Oh, yes, that's true. Artifact?
Consequence?
Consequent? Okay. So, quick question, Tangy, as we're going through the hairpin here. When you are racing around the track, especially if you're racing with others, what's your main objective? What's the main thing you're trying to accomplish?
Get around it.
Get around the track, okay? Are you trying to be as fast as possible, or are you trying to, like, not crash?
I'm trying not to crash.
Okay. Very good. That is what I thought you would say. You look like a very cautious driver. Which is not bad. Right, Viking, yeah, bud. Do you find that you crash a lot, or do you not crash that often at all?
I don't crash often because I look at my surroundings.
Uh-huh. Quick question, how high do you put the traction control on?
I just turned it down to 3 today.
3?
But
okay.
right now it's 5.
Right now it's 5. Okay, gotcha. I agree, Blankenship. This is I'm actually like, I feel like I want to do a lobby race with this car at some point in the future here. This is really fun. Tough, challenging, but fun. I'll say this. If you're running in manual, second gear is a no-no. Don't try and accelerate in second gear. It will kill you. Oh, did you almost lose it there?
Almost.
Almost. I saw you caught it though. That's a good job. Hey, Ridge Racer, good to see you, man. We are doing well. Welcome to the Learn with LED session. This car has 7 gears too. No, it has 8 gears. Wow.
8?
Yeah. You're an automatic, so you can't make it go over there, but yeah. Can't really, not a long enough straight to get to the 8th gear, I don't think. Oh, there. Oh, yeah, me too. Wow. That's part. It's definitely harder on the downhill.
But that's why we upgrade brakes.
Yes, that's exactly right. So you say you normally run in traction control 3?
I run traction control 5.
Most of the time is 5.
I just lowered it.
Oh, you lowered it to 3.
That was from a circuit experience.
Yeah, okay. Gotcha. Oh, yeah, I understand. Some of those circuit experiences are tough. Man, with 8 gears, it's wild.
It's an Alfa Romeo.
Yeah, it's fancy. Okay. All right, so I think let's stop at the start-finish straight. When we get to the start-finish line, rather. Sorry. We get to the finish line. Let's stop there for a moment and let's talk about a few things, okay, Tangy?
Okay.
All right. Almost there. Cool. I'm just gonna sit right here behind you. All right. Hey there, Philness. Good to see you. Ridge Racers, I need all the help I can get. Okay, so here's a couple of observations, Tangy. So one of the things I've observed is you're a very careful driver. Okay.
Yes.
So careful can sometimes lead to being a lot slower. I think one of the things that we may have to work on is not being afraid to crash the car.
Okay.
Okay. Now, if this was your real Alfa Romeo Giulia, okay, if this was your real one, for what is it, $220,000 or whatever it costs, then I would say no, drive it as slow as possible so you don't do anything bad to it, right? But this is not the real thing. This is Gran Turismo. So I think we actually, in order to get faster, you have to make mistakes, right?
Yes.
The mistakes don't always feel great, but they help us learn. Honestly, that's one of the best ways that we humans learn, basically, is by making mistakes, right? So what I'm gonna suggest is that this next few laps that we do, I don't want to be safe. I want to see what happens when you try and go a little bit faster, okay? So why don't we go ahead and do that, and you go ahead and lead us again when you're ready to go. Yep. And let's try and be a little faster. So the fastest time we've put up is a 2:10 point. I have a 0.6, you have a 0.8. Let's see if we can beat that 0.8, okay?
Okay.
And if you end up wrecking, if you end up sliding out, that's okay. Yeah. Car really wants to say bye-bye there. Okay, very good. Good correction. Good through there, nice.
Thank you.
Okay. We'll keep going after this lap. We'll see what this time is, but we'll keep going.
Okay.
Nice. Okay, let's try and beat that.
Okay.
That was fun. Yeah. Good catch.
Really likes to drift.
Yeah, under the braking, it really does. Oof. And even when I coasted there, it wanted to come out. Okay, we're still going faster. That's good. Nice line through there, Tangy. It looks really good there, man.
Thank you.
All right, let's see what this time is. Nice. Let's try and beat that.
Okay. Oh.
We both caught it. Hey there, Jason. Good to see you, friend. Legendary stud, no doubt. Okay, got a little squirrely that time through there, but that's all right. Good, let's do it again. We keep getting faster.
Okay.
Better on that turn, that's good. Oops, that's my fault, Tangy, sorry.
No problem.
Gives me a penalty. Thanks, Richie. Richie's saying this is great progress. Well done. Okay. Let's go ahead. We're gonna stop at the top of the hill, okay? We'll finish this lap.
Okay.
And we'll stop at the top of the hill. Alright, that one was a little bit slower. Okay. So there's a couple spots that I think we should talk about, okay? So let's talk about the first hairpin down at the bottom. Let's go down to that one. I think it's based on a real one, Phil. In fact, I think Tyrannosaurus Rex did a video on like what it's really based off of. Let's stop right here. Yep, okay. So let's talk about this hill for this downhill and the turn here for a second, Tangy. So what we have here is a really, really sharp turn, right? After a big downhill where we're carrying a whole lot of speed. On this car specifically, the back end under braking wants to come out, and you've probably felt that, right? Sometimes when we're under braking, the back end wants to say, "Wee, look at me," and you just want to say, "No, stay straight." So, if you wouldn't mind, let's go in reverse for a second, and let's back up to the 400 board, okay? And then you get behind me, all right? Good. Okay. So, so what we want to do in this situation here, okay,
Yes.
is brake as much in a straight line as possible. And then let's talk about the turn. So let's pretend right now we're braking, we're continuing to slow down. Now, what we don't want to happen is that we end up going too wide. I'm going to stop right here at the 100, okay? We want to be as cautious as possible not to go too wide on this corner here. What I noticed when I was following you is that you were very wide each time, and that's costing you time. So let's use this turn as a great example of how to take a hairpin that's so tight like this. And for the folks that are in chat, they'll be able to see the Apex visualizer in real time. So I'm going to use that for a moment. If you have the stream on, Tangy, you'll be able to...
Hold on, give me a minute. I have to get my phone off the charger.
That's okay. You'll be able to see this as well, but it's going to be delayed.
Okay.
So you have time. Okay. Wow, there was two of me for a moment. So we're not talking about a 90-degree turn. We're not talking about a 45. We're talking about what's essentially a 180-degree turn, right?
Wow.
Yeah, and that's really how you have to think about the turns, right, Tangy? So you always want to be thinking about how much turning do I have to do on this? Because it's going to affect how you enter the corner. So for here, we have a 180-degree turn, and we have the big braking zone, which shows up as the red on our visualizer here.
Yes.
And then we want to take a nice wide entrance. You see how we're not diving to the apex. We're actually not treating it narrow and getting to it quickly. We're actually keeping the speed up, coming around, and then hitting it as a late apex. Now, go ahead and look back at the PlayStation and look at where your driving markers are. Okay, so where the driving markers are, we can see that the driving marker for the apex is actually around the corner. Do you see that there? Yeah. So if you stay right there, don't have to follow me right now. I'm going to demonstrate how we do not want to be taking this corner, okay?
Okay.
We do not want to be braking and turning at the 100 and going like this. That's not what we want to do. That's exceptionally slow. Okay? All right. So let's go ahead and back up again, and we're going to demonstrate the best line, okay? So go ahead and reverse for a little bit. Back up to that 100 board. Very good. All right, so we see the first driving marker that's right in front of me right now. You see that?
Yes.
Yep, so we want to turn just after that driving marker, but not a sharp turn. So this is the line that we're going to try and do. You see this? We're going to go like this, come all the way around, and we are not going to hit the apex until we have gotten to this point here.
Okay.
You see that? That's how we want to enter this corner. I'm going to hit the brakes here. That's how we want to do it, and this is why. So we've already done the majority of the turning in the beginning of the turn before the apex. We're not going to what ends up happening a lot when we're doing racing games is we end up doing more turning after the apex. And you know what that means? That means we're slow. That's what that means. So you get the majority of the turning done before the apex so that you don't have to turn as much after the apex. And also fundamentally, so let's remember this, if we have to brake after the apex or we have to lift off the gas after the apex, that means we've made a mistake when we've started to enter the corner. Does that make sense, Tangy?
Yes.
Okay. Sometimes we do it and we're not even thinking about it, but you know, part of Learn with Lead sessions is we're stopping and thinking about what we're doing and why we're doing what we're doing, right? So this turn is an excellent example of what it looks like to do a late apex on a 180 degree turn, and it is really important to try and enter this corner this way every time. Okay? Okay, we'll get back to this one. I'll show you, we're gonna talk about one other corner before we start going around the track again, okay? So just follow me here for a moment, because the corner's a little bit down the way a little bit. Oh yeah, and I have to serve a penalty because I made such an egregious crime against the circuit. Okay, we're gonna stop right here. All right, so when we were going around, this was a corner that was tripping you up a little bit.
Yep.
Would you be able to explain what was happening on this corner most of the time?
It was trying to spin out.
It was trying to spin out. Okay. So this is interesting situation, right? Because we have a left-hand turn that then turns into a right-hand turn, right?
Yep.
And then after the right-hand turn, we have a long straightaway.
Yep.
So really, the way to set up for this turn here, this right turn, is to make sure we do the left turn that's before this one as properly as possible. Okay? So you see my positioning here. This is where we basically want to be. Now, what I noticed actually that was happening to you was you would be accelerating through this whole section, but then after the apex, you were having to hit the brakes. Did you notice that? Otherwise, you were going to go into the barrier there. Now, I want you to notice something else. Do you see where the driving marker is for the apex?
Yep.
It's way down there, isn't it? You notice that? It's way around the corner. So we talked about just a little bit ago, we talked about how we don't want to be having to hit the brakes or lift off the throttle after the apex, right? But here's what we do want to do. We do want to be on the throttle either at or before the apex. That's what we're trying to accomplish in almost every corner, okay? You know what, but you find we find sometimes, right, that we actually aren't, if we do that, we go too wide on the exit and we end up crashing or we end up spinning, right? So how do we make sure that that doesn't happen? Well, it has everything to do with your entrance to the corner, okay? So, and it has everything to do with how late you wait to get onto the throttle. So I'm gonna ooch a little bit forward here, okay? So we're staying wide, right? We're staying wide. Now we're starting to come in. And what this is accomplishing is it's getting the car pointed. I'm going to stop right at the apex, okay? It's getting the car pointed in the direction that it needs to be in order to get on the throttle by the time we get to the apex and still be able to make the corner, okay? Does that make sense?
Okay.
Do you have any questions with that?
No.
Okay. I'm going to serve this penalty, okay? And I'm going to serve... We're going to play a little follow the leader, okay?
Okay.
And after I serve this penalty... There we go. I want you to try and mimic the same lines that I do, okay? I'm not going to go too fast. I'm just going to drive, and we're going to try and be on the proper racing line the entire time for this car. Because this car is a little bit different. Hey there, Stumpy. Good to see you, bud. How you doing, friend? Okay. Yeah, a little tricky there. Okay. All right, big braking zone coming up here. Okay, this one's tricky also. Have to be cautious. Okay, we're going to try to make sure we do that right racing line that we talked about. Okay, I went a little wider than I needed to there. This is tricky also. And don't be afraid to be close to me. If you hit me, that's okay. It's not my real Alfa Romeo Giulia, okay?
It just wants to drift.
Yeah, I heard it back there. I heard you. Yeah, there it goes on me again. Okay. Take a nice wide line. We're gonna come in, we're gonna dive in, get on the throttle, and we'll make the corner. Hitting no walls, right? Okay, we're gonna hit the brakes. This is a late apex also. Gonna dive in. Okay, Octia, sounds good. A lot of people here probably don't even remember the lead pencil bingo days. Okay. We're gonna try and keep you closer this time. Okay.
Good. Oh!
it was,
Wow,
it was
it
close.
really was just there.
So, one of the things that is helpful when you have a car that likes to slide out under braking is to not push the brakes as hard. Sometimes we always want to hit the brakes maximum. So make sure that through some of these turns you're not hitting the brakes fully, but that you're actually just tapping the brakes a little bit. Like through there, I didn't use full braking power. Here, I'm not using full braking power. Nice. You just beat your time.
Wow.
So we just beat your time, and we did that really not by driving very fast. We did that by being as close to the actual racing lines, the best racing lines for the car as possible. Did you notice that?
Yes.
Okay, so we can't undervalue how important it is to be on the racing lines.
Okay.
So you use the driving line marker, or the driving line assist, which I have on because I have it on because I want to see what you're seeing. And the driving line can be very helpful. At times, though, it can give you a false idea of what you should be doing.
A false sense of security.
It can also give you, yeah, a false sense of security. I like that. So right here, for instance, this is proper. This, I would say, it dives in too short, too soon. I go wider than the driving line here. And then get back on it. Same here. I think it dives to the apex too soon. I'll go a little wider than the driving line does here. Oops. So that I can poke it back in. I do a little lift there on the throttle. And then out we go. Getting a little bit of dirt in my wheel wells, but that's okay.
Oh.
You okay?
Yep.
Stumpy, thanks for becoming a subscriber, bud. Okay, so let's pause here at the top of the hill again. All right. So let's review a couple things that we just talked about. Okay.
Yes.
So this is because this is just one track out of I don't know how many the game has, right? It's many tracks. But let's review some of the fundamental things that we've learned. So number one, you want to make sure that when you enter a corner, your objective is to always, okay, be able to get on the accelerator before or at the apex and still make the corner without sliding out or without crashing into the wall or without going off the track. The only way to do that is to make sure that your entrance is nice and wide enough so that you end up getting the car pointed to where you want it to be, so that you don't have to steer too hard on the exit of the corner. So you're gonna take the lead now, okay? And we're gonna try and see if you can put some of that into practice without having me there to follow. Make sense?
Okay.
Okay, so you go ahead and do it. Go ahead and get up there. I'm just gonna use all 8 gears because I can. I like that line through there. That's good. Okay, we're gonna get on the brakes. Very nice. Yep. All right, so not bad. We could have gone a little bit tighter to the apex though, right? You notice that? Okay, we went a little deep that time.
God.
I did the same thing. Okay, so looks like there you got on the throttle a little too soon, perhaps.
By My controller died on me.
Oh, really?
Yes. I had to make a quick switch.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Are you switched now? Okay. Try to keep it nice and tight. Okay. A little better than the last time. You're okay. A little better than the last time. It's good. It's a tricky corner there. Thanks, Blankenship. Blankenship says already looking much smoother, Tangy.
Thank you.
Okay. That to me right there, what happens there, that looks to me like traction control is taking a huge effect. It's actually cutting the power and making you turn more to the right than you need to, which is fine. I'm not an advocate of removing all assists necessarily, especially for a newer driver. But what I want you to recognize, Tangy, is this, okay? When traction control kicks on, when you're at 3, okay? When you're at traction control 3, it's probably because you have taken, oops, sorry. You have probably taken a kind of a rough entrance into a corner, and so your exit is compromised. And that's making you have to turn too much on the corner, and that's why the traction control kicks on. You want to be full throttle when you can drive almost straight. That's really how you'd want to go about it. Not real wide that time.
It wants drift again.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, so on the next lap, I'd like to take the lead, okay? And we're gonna go very, very slow, okay?
Okay.
And what we're gonna do is, I want you to follow my line as closely as possible, all right?
Okay.
Because the late apexes that we're talking about for like the 180-degree turn at the bottom of the hill, those late apexes carry still apply on so many of the turns here. But I want you to see it. I want you to be able to see it, okay?
Okay.
Oh, sorry.
About what?
All right, so at the next corner, I'll take the lead. Yep. All right, so we're coming in wide, right? We're gonna tighten, we're gonna get on the throttle now. And then out we go. Still going only pretty slow through here. We're gonna come nice and tight. We're gonna give a wide turn here. We're gonna let off the gas. Let the car tighten. Get back on the gas. Go over to the left, stay to the left as much as possible. Get on the brakes at 400. Go ahead and get right behind me. Keep it nice and tight here. Try to be right on my line, bud. Right on my line. Yep. This is follow the leader we're playing here. Okay, good. Okay, late apex here. We're gonna bring it around, nice and tight, then on the throttle. Wide entrance here, on the throttle here, slightly, and then we're off we go. Okay. Stay with me. All right. Got another sequence here. We're going to brake, late apex. Come around like this. Just like that. Let's do it one more time, okay? We'll go a little faster through this part, just get it done. Okay, we're gonna start on the brakes. That was tough. Okay, down we go. On the brakes. Try and get on my line there. Yep. Gonna tighten. Nice and tight. Good. Good, good, good.
Thank you.
Okay. Again, we're gonna widen this. Yeah. So let's stop right there and talk about what happens there. So you've, oops.
What?
Sorry, I hit the wrong button and I started to go. All right, let's stop right there. So that previous corner, what I see that happening for you quite a bit. Let's go ahead and turn around and get back there. To drive the wrong way on the track for a bit. It's okay.
Uh-oh, it's in the wall.
Are you stuck?
Oh, I'm good. Lobbies,
All right, come find me up here. Hey BL, good to see you. Yeah, we're rebels, driving all over the place. Okay. All right, so what I've noticed is, so we have two left-handers, right? We have the first little part and then the second part. It's really important to get nice and wide here, okay? And I know that you've been having the trouble on the second one, but doing this a particular way will help you in the second one. So coming through here, and we are actually just on the brake. Can you practice for me just for a second? I want you with the brake trigger to give me about 25% braking power. Can you do that? Just you can be still. You don't have to go. Yeah, so
it should be about 25.
Yeah, I meant back here actually. Sorry. Oh yep, boss lady for sure. Blankenship. Are you able to come back?
I'm gonna reverse.
Okay. Very nice. Yeah, so don't need to hit the gas pedal at all. Just push the brake down 25%, and you can see, you know, it's halfway through the braking bar there. Are you doing that?
Yes.
All right, so that's about the amount of braking that you want to do, and less in this section here. Okay. Do you know why?
No.
Because when you put more braking power in a section like this where we have to continue to turn, it makes the car unstable. Okay, so we want to brake as little as possible, and when we do brake, we want that braking to be in this as straight as possible. Does that make sense? Because the more we're turning under braking, the more the car is going to say, whoa, we can't handle that. Okay, so that's the tricky bit about this section of the track, is we have to brake, but we also have to turn. So we're going to do that little bit of braking here, but look, this is what we need to be committed to do. So what you've ended up doing a couple times here is you end up going too deep. You end up going towards those cones over there. You see those cones over on the right? You see those? You see them, Tangy? You see the
Yes.
yeah. So you end up going over there, and you see where the driving marker is, right? The driving marker is at the apex. So we want to make sure that we're heading towards this apex. So we need to not brake too hard, and we need to get the car to dive in here. So that's what we're going to try and do, okay? We're going to make sure we keep doing that.
Good.
All right, let's go ahead and go through this extra slow again, just to make sure that we're on the line that we're supposed to be. This is a little bit of a late apex corner right here, because we need to come around and be on the throttle there. Okay, late apex here, making it nice and tight. Late apex to this one, getting on the throttle, fully right there. Off we go. Didn't even hit the wall. Okay, again, I'm gonna late apex this one as well. Under braking. Nice and tight here. Keep it to the right so that we can set up for the left. And then over to the right and hit the wall. Not the wall part, hopefully. Okay. Let's see how you do a little bit. You take the lead now.
Okay.
And we'll try to incorporate some of those things, all right?
Okay.
Tighten, very good. I like that.
Thank you.
Yep, that's the idea right there. Take it wide, then tighten to the apex. Getting on the throttle, it's very good. Nice. Oh, that's great, dude. That's wonderful right there.
Thank you.
Okay, we got on the throttle a little bit early that time, but that was close. Wide entrance. Okay, here we go. Late apex it. Nice wide entrance. And get it to tighten. Very good. Yeah.
Thank you.
All right, let her go. Let's do it again.
Okay.
Yep. Good, good, good.
Thank you.
Nice and tight. There we are on the throttle. Make the corner. Yeah. Okay, we went a little deep that time. You brought it back. That's good. Right, Red Shot? You know, honestly, my mom could make enough for the whole class. I have no doubts. Good, good. Oop, I went right by you. Oh. I clipped the dirt, and that was it. All right, I'm good.
Okay.
Sitting here thinking about other stuff. All right. Try to do it a little bit faster this time.
I guess I'm going to get mail now.
Yeah.
I'm going to pull over.
Oh, you say what now? You're gonna do what?
I'm going to get mail while I'm pulling over.
Gonna get the mail?
Yes.
Okay, gotcha. No problem. We'll take a little break. You let me know when you're back.
Okay.
Oh, excuse me. I'm good. I'm awake. No problem. Quick thank you to everybody who's hung out with us today. Appreciate all of you. Ace, what's good, bud? Good to see you, man. And for those who join in a little bit later, we're doing a little bit different of a session. We're doing a road car, the Alfa Romeo Giulia GTAM. Incredible machine. We have modified the car a little bit to include some brake balance using racing soft tires. And what's the other thing? And we upgraded the brakes. Our guest today is Tangy. And he's taking a little break, so we're just waiting here on track for a little bit. But we've really discussed mostly today racing lines and trying to be able to accelerate at the right times so that we can make the corners. And in a little bit here, we're gonna talk about brake balance and why put it in different places and stuff. Right, Ace? I mean, you have to be really tired not to want to race, right? That's the truth right now. You had to work on a Saturday, huh? That's tough, dude. Unless you work most Saturdays, then I guess you're used to it. No, gee. I'm probably gonna get a... So when I park the car, just a little insider YouTube info. When I park the car like that and it's on a billboard or a sign like we were seeing there, I usually get flagged for copyright. When you're racing at full speed, you know, it only flashes across the screen, so it doesn't get flagged like that. But oh, self-employed, got to do the work when there is work to do. That's great, Ace. I'm happy for you. That's nice. Yep. So we're doing that. We're going to talk about brake balance here in a little bit. Just trying to get Tangy a little more comfy with the proper racing lines. And to be fair, this is a tough car to get a hold of in some cases, especially on the downhills. Really wants to step out on you. Oh, excuse me. But it's a great car. Honestly, this is a great California car. You know, we're here at Grand Valley, seeing the beautiful sights. That's right, you did tell me about landscaping. So Aktia just started to work, he just started work for a landscaper for the summer. Yeah, busiest time of year, right? So are you one of those folks that landscapers that when wintertime comes around you sort of, or the colder months, that you switch over and do a lot of plowing? Are you one of those folks, or because I know like almost every landscaper I know does that type of thing.
I'm back.
All right, great, Tangy. Sounds good. So we will keep going around the track here. Once you're ready.
0.5% here.
Okay. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you plow snow in the winter. Gotcha. Right, Ace? This car really does go. My goodness.
It says, I feel like this car is a street legal race car.
It really is close to that. It's a rocket. Oh dear. Okay. Nice line through there. Oh, my fault. My fault. Sorry about that.
Drifted good.
Yep, easy on the brakes. Good, you didn't go deep. That's good. German Kiwi, how you doing, friend? Thank you for the like. Does that give us a 30 burger, do I see? I think it just might.
Oh wow, 30 likes.
Yeah. Appreciate it, Kiwi, man. Appreciate it. Good. Nice line. Yep. Could have been a little tighter there to the apex, but that's all right. Actually, yeah, I have already had a really nice meal today, Kiwi. But this will go towards the next stuff, you know. Oh. That looks good. Hey Tangy, are you familiar with the racing phrase slow in and fast out?
Not really.
Okay. So, okay, BL, sounds good. So, what slow in, fast out refers to is you go slow into the corner and you go fast out of the corner. So, and what that is trying to help racers do is to remember brake with plenty of braking power before the corner so that you can accelerate as fast as possible out of the corner. And that's really, I think, one of the things that I want you to really remember from our session today is slow in, fast out. So don't get on the throttle too soon after braking. That's it, nice and slow. We should be on the throttle now. Go ahead and get on it, yeah.
I try and do that either 25 or 50%.
Yep, for braking, yep. Be careful. I see what you did there, Briggs. Good. That was a good corner. We ended up going wide there again. Do you have any idea why you may have gone wide that time there?
No.
Okay. Cool, Briggs, yeah. Getting there. Something I didn't ask you, Tangy, what camera view do you use when you're driving?
Bumper.
Bumper, okay, very good. All B's should be split with 2 E's. All right, let's go around one more time. Our 25th lap of the session here. J-Star, how you doing, bud? Good to see you, man. That's the question, Kiwi. That's the question. Good catch, good catch. Very nice.
Thank you.
Get your SR back up. That's great to hear, Jay. Yep, wide entrance. Let the car come in. Good, good, good. All right, let's pass the start finish time. Start finish line rather, and you and me, Kiwi? You want to do You want to do a session, you and me? All right, let's go ahead and park it up here. Oops, sorry, Tangy. All right. Go ahead and stop. Come to a stop. I'll make sure to put you in our field of view here. All right. Ouch. I have not been kind to my Alfa Romeo Giulia. So what? Are you normally better at Group 4s, Kiwi? Is that what the deal is? We can certainly work on that. Okay. Hit me up. I don't think we're friends on PlayStation Network. 1 second here, Tangy. Let me just get this bit of business done.
Okay.
And this is for anybody too. If anyone else wants to get a session scheduled with me for one of these sessions, go ahead and reach out to me there at LeadPencil 2017. LeadPencil 2017 is how you can friend request me on PlayStation, and then we can get the conversation started. We are about 8 guests deep, so it could be a little bit for your session, but sometimes people have to reschedule, so you may end up getting sooner than that. Okay, Tangy. So let's. Do you have any questions for me regarding what we've talked about today so far?
No.
Okay.
No.
Did anything start to feel a little more comfortable with the different racing lines that we started to go on? Yeah. Okay. That's good. Yeah. So a couple of things to remember are making sure that you have a nice wide entrance to most corners. The only time you don't need like a super wide entrance is if the corner is less than 90 degrees. You feel me there? Yeah. So if it's if it's a 45-degree turn or something like that, it doesn't have to be quite so late of a turn in at that point, especially if the car has a lot of downforce. Okay. But constantly, so when you look at the driving markers, right? Because I know you use that assist. When you look at the driving markers, always note where the driving marker is for the apex. So like for this corner right here that we're facing right now, you see that driving marker is way around the corner, right?
Yep.
So here's what I want you to aim to do. When you are at the apex, that is where you should be at your slowest. You follow me there?
Yes.
Yep, so you should be braking all the way into the apex, or maybe depending on the car, you might want to let the car coast a little bit. But the apex is where you should be at your slowest, or maybe a little bit before the apex in some cases. And then you should be able to apply the throttle, sometimes fully or sometimes just a little bit, and then you should be able to make the corner because you've got the car pointed where you want it to go. Okay. The other thing I want to suggest to you, Tangy, is you're a very safe driver, and you've even said your priority is to not crash, and I think that's a good goal to have. But I will say this, Tangy, you won't get faster if you don't try to push it a little bit. It's kind of the saying could be, if you're not driving past the limit, you're not trying hard enough, basically. You might say. And so, if you're looking to improve and you want to see your lap times get down, you actually have to you have to push the car a little bit more. Don't be afraid to spin. Don't be afraid to crash, okay? That's what I would say. Any questions or follow-ups on that? No? Okay. So you wanted to talk a little bit about brake balance, right? So let's spend a little time on brake balance. So we've added brake balance to this car. You said you had the brake balance all the way to the front, and I went ahead and did the same. Now, you said that you wanted the brake balance to the front because that's where most of the stopping power ends up being, in the front, because those are the wheels that grip. And that is true. That is absolutely true. But there is another benefit to having brake balance to the front. So let's talk about, and this is, for everybody listening right now, sometimes brake balance can be confusing, or sometimes you're like, well, I just do what I saw the streamer do that I watched today, or that sort of thing. So, but how do you make your own decisions with brake balance? That's right, Richie, a 30 burger. Thanks, bud. So, there are two objectives that you can have with brake balance. One is to achieve control, to be more in control of your vehicle under braking, or the other objective is I want to be faster under braking. Okay? So here's you can think of it this way. If you want more control of the car under braking, you can put the brake balance to the front. Okay? If you want to have more speed going into the corner, you put the brake balance to the rear. In general, okay? Why will you go faster if you put the brake balance to the rear, you might ask? Well, that's because when you have the brake balance to the rear, those tires do a little bit more gripping. ABS will activate a little bit more, and what happens is that the back end of the car slides out more under braking. And how is that faster? You'd say, well, that's slower if the back slides out. Well, don't think of it as sliding out really fast. Thinking of it as it is sliding out just slightly. And what is that doing? What that's doing is it's helping to rotate the car. So for instance, on this right-hander right here, if I had the brake balance to the rear and I was able to control it, the rear of the car would come out, it would step out on me towards the left, right? It would slide to the left, but that would get the car pointed in the direction that I want to go. And if I can get the car pointed in the direction that I want to go sooner, you know what else that means I can do sooner? I can get on the throttle sooner and make the corner. That's why it's faster. Okay? So in general, again, if you want to be faster, then you need to put the brake balance towards the rear. But here's the trade-off. There's less control of the car that way. Some cars handle brake balance to the rear much easier than others. So it seems like a lot of our all-wheel drive cars are able to handle brake balance to the rear a lot. This road car, though, for example, so we've had it all the way to the front this whole session. Yes. And that's been the right thing, because this car under braking, the back end wants to fly out. And even with it all the way to the front, it still is sketchy, right? So that's the real critical part with this particular car, and that's true of many road cars. Now, some cars have the engine mounted in the middle of the car. It's a mid-engine rear-wheel drive car. That can usually handle more of the brake balance to the rear because the car's weight is more towards the rear. Okay? So that's, in general, when talking about either being in control or being fast with the car, that's how you can modify the brake balance. Okay, Kiwi, I see that. I'll check that after my stream today, and we'll start the conversation there. Okay, bud? Cool, man. Appreciate you, bud. And Omri, good to see you, man. Awesome to see you here, bud. Okay, but that's not the only. There are two other applications of tire wear. I just said it. There are two other applications of brake balance that we need to talk about as well. So let's say you're in a race that has tire wear, okay?
Yes.
So the tire wear is a factor. If you put the brake balance to the front, Tangy, what tires do you think are going to wear out sooner? The front or the rears?
the front.
Yep, it's exactly right. And guess what? If we had a tire wear race with this car, that'd be really tough. You know why? Because the tires in the front would wear out sooner, and we really wouldn't want that. So we would have to put the brake balance more towards the rear, which would make the car tough to control. But if we were really in a tire saving race, we almost always want to put the tire wear, the brake balance to the rear to save the fronts. Oh, no problem, Nielsen. Appreciate you, friend. You come anytime you want. Late, early, doesn't matter, bud. Just glad you're here. So that's the case with a lot of the front engine cars. So this is a front engine car. The weight of the car is mostly in the front because of that engine, right?
Yes.
So with a front engine car, the front tires are going to wear out a lot sooner. Now, a mid-engine car is most of the time the rears are going to wear out more than the fronts because of where the weight of the distribution is, right? Hey there, Chris. Good to see you, man. I was so late. Yes. Now we just had a later session today. It's no big deal. Okay, so sometimes though you won't know if which tires are going to wear more, the fronts or the rear. So you kind of have to see what's happening as you're racing, and you see the tire meters on the bottom left there. You see how they're wearing, and then you can make an adjustment. I will say this: some of the high powered cars, like the Red Bull, the Red Bull X 2019, some of the other Group 1 cars, the old ones where they had the big fat tires in the back,
Yes.
those actually the rears will wear out a lot more than the fronts. So that's another purpose. That's another way to use brake balance, is to save on tires. Okay, does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay, then there's a third one. Okay, there's a third way of using brake balance, and that is in the wet. That's in wet weather. Okay. So remember how we said that brake balance to the front equals more control of the car. Well, that's extra important in a wet weather race. So under braking, yes, Blankenship, exactly. That was a tire killer. Yeah, Blankenship makes a great point. What race was that? That was that 10-lap race. Can't think of where it was now. So much going on. But yeah, the softs lasted what, 4 laps? I could make the softs last 5 laps pretty comfortably if I drove properly. And that was one of the reasons that I was able to do that, was because I was throwing the brake balance all the way to the back. Was it Suzuka? Maybe. I don't know. Yeah, it was Suzuka. That's what it was. I remember because we had yes, we had Moto on, and Moto was he shredded his tires on that race that he did. He didn't even get them to last 4 laps. They died before the 4th lap was up. Okay, so wet weather, that's what we were talking about. So
Yes.
this might seem a little odd, but think about what brake balance does. It's putting braking power either on the front or the wheel on the rears. The proper thing to do in wet weather is to put the brake balance to the front fully, -5, because if you have more braking power in the back, in the rear tires, when you're under braking the rear of the car, if there's any loss of traction in the back, you know what's going to happen? The rear is going to step out on you. Yep, the rear is going to step out on you. That's what's going to happen. And so it might feel like, oh no, I still need the brake balance to the back. No, in wet conditions, put that to the front. You're going to have extra control under braking. It's still going to be tough because it's wet weather. So, you still need to be careful. You can't just drive like you normally would. There's still a whole lot of other factors. But that's a key element to brake balance in wet weather, is to put the brake balance to the front and so forth. And you know, a fourth element to brake balance also is not one size does not fit all, right? So there might be somebody who could drive this car with brake balance 0 and be in total control and just, you know, put up under 2 minute times on this track with this car, no problem, right? Great, good job them. That's not everybody, right? So brake balance also is a bit of personal preference. Do you like it when the back of the car steps out under braking? Maybe you do.
No.
Maybe you don't. So it is a matter of preference in a very real sense. So but those are the 4 aspects of brake balance that I think are critical to this game, at least. So that's what I would say. Any questions or follow-ups to that, Tangy?
No.
Cool, man. Okay, well, we're gonna go ahead and end the session here in a moment, Tangy, but first of all, I wanted to say to you, thank you for reaching out and being a part of a Learn with Lead session. It means a lot that you reached out and wanted to have this session. Don't forget the things that we talked about. Remember that you want, at the apex, you want to be at your slowest. You want to have nice wide entrances to the corners. You saw what happened, right? We weren't even trying to go fast, and just by following my racing line, we dropped your time by like a second or so. So it makes a huge difference to have those nice wide entrances, smooth through the corners, and that kind of thing. And the second takeaway that I want you to remember, Tangy, is try to start pushing it. Don't be afraid to crash. Crashing is good. Why? Because we learn from our mistakes. Okay? So I definitely think that you can start to push it a little bit and see where your limitations are, and then once you find where your limitations are, you can learn how to set new limits because you're getting better. You hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, man. Okay, anything else for me, bud?
No.
Okay, thank you so much, Tangy, for being an awesome guest. I appreciate you very much for coming on. That will end our session for today, but look forward to seeing how you progress. You know, keep us up to date in chat, you know, how you're doing with different things and that sort of stuff. All right, man?
Okay.
Okay, friend. Well, we'll see you on the track or in a chat very soon, and we'll see you later, man. Have a good one, bud. All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.
All right, friends. Okay, so that is going to do it for me. We are going to call it right there. It's a little bit later of a session for me, so need to wrap it up and get back with my family. But I appreciate all of you who hung out. Appreciate the new subscribers that subscribed today. I think Stumpy was one of them, so appreciate you very much. Big shout out to Tangy for being a guest on Learn with Lead today. Everybody who can, please throw up a stud emoji for Tangy. He was a total stud for hanging out and being on the Learn with Lead today. As far as future is concerned, we will have hang on a sec. As far as the future is concerned, we will have a another stream on Monday. Should be normal time. Yeah, should be normal time on Monday. We'll plan to do that. Yeah, I'm gonna go for seconds. You're there. You got it there, Blankenship. He's a Tangy stud. Yes, indeed. Very cool. Yeah, we should have that on Monday. We're getting closer. I won't say very close. We're getting closer to episode 7 for Essential Racing Strategies. It's our first episode specifically for A-ranked drivers. So be on the lookout for that. That's coming soon. And then next week should be, we got a couple things. So Yeah, it's probably a Monday and Tuesday stream next week with another Learn with Led session on. Whoa, Cliffy! You sent a membership and you caught it. You know, I have done that 2 or 3 times now. Thank you so much for the gifted and welcome to the Stub Club. I mean, that's what happened, right? Right there. Appreciate you, man. Nice shot. That's so funny when that happens. What are the odds, right? It's crazy, right, Tangy? I don't know, man. I don't know, but I've done it twice or 3 times now, I think. It happens. You tried doing a good thing and you got it. Well, enjoy it. You know, throw up some studs for yourself is basically the answer right there. But thank you for the donation. Thank you for the gifted, man. That means a lot. That's very much appreciated. No apologies necessary. Yeah, so probably a Monday, Tuesday stream next week. And I'm gonna try and knock this episode 7 out. Get it to you guys real soon. We're close. I need to put the PowerPoint in, and then I do the final touch-ups with the end credits. I need to do all that. So, thank you, Chris, for putting Tangy's channel up there. That's great. Anyway, anyone who wants to go ahead and sub up to Tangy there. I think that's it. I'm all done now. Yeah, I think I'm done. A little short stream today, but that's how it goes. Better than not doing one at all, right? That's what I'm thinking. All right, friends. To everybody who hung out, everybody who watched Tangy, just kill it out there. Being a total stud on track with us. Everybody who donated and became a subscriber, you all are awesome. I love you like crazy. And there's not a thing you can do to change my mind. I'll see you all soon. Bye.